Welcome to Warriors of the World. Today, we're diving into a remarkable class of warriors. They weren't just fighters. They were an unstoppable force that defied everything the ancient world considered natural. The Amazons lived by their own rules, led armies, defeated adversaries, and etched their presence into stories told for generations. To the Greeks, they were as real as the heroes who confronted them. Described as women trained from childhood for combat, these warriors were seen as the antithesis of the patriarchal structures of their time. They mastered archery with deadly precision, fought on horseback, an uncommon skill in that era, and symbolized a society governed entirely by women. They rejected male authority, a concept inconceivable in their world. In myths, they clashed with figures like Hercules, Theseus, and Achilles. Although the Greeks labeled them as enemies of civilization, their stories often carried an undertone of admiration. Facing the Amazons was the ultimate test of strength and bravery. But who were they, really? One by one, these warriors became one of the greatest mysteries of ancient history. Today, we'll explore their myths, their realities, and the lasting impact of their legacy. At the heart of Greek mythology, the Amazons occupied a special place shrouded in mystery and exaggeration. Early accounts depicted a society ruled exclusively by women, direct descendants of Ares, the god of war. This divine connection explained their fierce and untamed nature, while their devotion to Artemis, the goddess of the hunt, highlighted their bond with nature and survival instincts. According to the tales, the Amazons lived in a distant land called Themyscira, near the Thermodon River, a place the Greeks regarded as exotic and unreachable. There, they established a society where leadership, warfare, and governance were the sole responsibility of women. Men were tolerated only for reproduction, and male offspring were often returned to their fathers or abandoned. These stories were more than attempts to describe a civilization. They reflected the Greeks' fear of a reversed world where women held power and men were subordinate. This upside-down society both fascinated and unsettled those who heard tales of the Amazons. The myths surrounding their origins are not mere fantasies. They reveal a great deal about how the Greeks viewed power, warfare, and the role of women. But beneath these stories, is there a kernel of truth? Life among the Amazons revolved around war and self-sufficiency. Every aspect of their society centered on preparing for combat and surviving in a hostile world. They weren't just warriors in battle. Their entire culture reflected a mindset of strength, discipline, and independence. From a young age, girls were trained to fight. They learned to wield weapons like bows, spears, and axes and master horseback riding, an integral part of their combat style. Constant training and communal living fostered strong bonds among them, forging a highly coordinated and loyal army. Unlike patriarchal Greek societies, the Amazons maintained a structure led by women. Leadership roles were held by queens and generals, while others served as warriors, hunters, and protectors of their community. Decisions were collective, focusing on the well-being of the group. Interestingly, their daily lives weren't solely about war. They farmed, raised livestock, and honed skills like blacksmithing to craft their own weapons. This self-reliance was the foundation of their survival in isolated and often hostile regions. Although the Greeks portrayed them as violent, the Amazons had an organized system governed by values like loyalty, courage, and the duty to protect their freedom. This combination of independence and strength made them unmatched in the ancient world. In battle, the Amazons were paragons of innovation and effectiveness. Their prowess came not just from physical strength but from strategies and weapons designed to maximize their impact. Every piece of their arsenal was chosen to ensure mobility, precision, and control of the battlefield. The bow was their most iconic weapon. They used a short, curved design ideal for swift and deadly shots, even on horseback. Their arrows were lightweight but sharp, capable of piercing light armor with ease. For close combat, they wielded war axes, spears, and short swords, perfect for fast, intense fights. Their horsemanship was another defining trait. They didn't just ride horses, they fought with unparalleled skill while galloping, gaining a significant edge over enemies who fought on foot. Their battle formations were flexible and well-coordinated, enabling swift attacks, strategic retreats, and devastating ambushes. Defense was equally calculated. They used light but durable shields, often adorned with symbols tied to their culture and beliefs. Their armor was practical, designed to protect the torso without hindering movement, an essential feature for dynamic combat. What truly set them apart was their discipline and teamwork. They were known for launching attacks in cohesive groups, with every movement appearing synchronized, overwhelming and confusing their adversaries. It was this blend of individual skill and collective strategy that rendered them nearly invincible in many battles. The Amazon stories are deeply intertwined with the exploits of Greek mythology's greatest heroes. For the ancients, these encounters symbolized the struggle between Greek order and what they deemed chaotic or wild. Yet, in many tales, the Amazons were more than just enemies, they were worthy adversaries. One of the most famous encounters was with Hercules. As part of his 12 labors, Hercules was tasked with obtaining the girdle of Hippolyta, queen of the Amazons, a symbol of power bestowed by Ares. Accounts differ. Some say Hippolyta willingly gave it to him, while others describe a bloody battle. Regardless of the version, the episode cemented the Amazons as formidable opponents even for Greece's most famous demigod. Another epic confrontation involved Achilles during the Trojan War. Penthesilea, one of the most celebrated Amazon leaders, allied with the Trojans against the Greeks. Her battle with Achilles is described as fierce and evenly matched. In the end, Achilles defeated her but, according to legend, was so struck by her bravery and beauty that he fell in love with her at the moment of her death. Theseus also crossed paths with the Amazons. He is said to have abducted Queen Antiope, prompting a massive invasion of Athens by the warriors. Though ultimately defeated, this invasion is remembered as one of the greatest challenges the city ever faced. These tales highlight the Greeks' admiration and fear of the Amazons. They were not just villains or monsters, they were equals in strength and courage, deserving to face the greatest names of mythology. For centuries, the Amazons were regarded as mythical figures, but advances in archaeology have raised intriguing questions. Did they really exist? Historical evidence suggests that these legendary warriors may have been inspired by real peoples. Many scholars believe the Amazons were based on the Scythians and Sarmatians, nomadic groups from the Eurasian steppes. These cultures had unique customs that astonished the Greeks. Women trained to fight, wielding weapons like bows, spears, and swords alongside men. Burial sites in these regions have revealed female skeletons interred with weapons and signs of battle injuries, indicating their active participation in warfare. When the Greeks encountered these groups, they likely exaggerated their accounts, transforming them into the Amazons we know today. The Scythians, renowned for their mobility and horsemanship, included women warriors who challenged the traditional gender roles so deeply ingrained in Greek society, fueling the creation of impactful stories. Ancient writers such as Herodotus also mention warrior women living near the Black Sea, in areas corresponding to Themyscira, the mythical homeland of the Amazons. These texts tie the legends to real-world geographies, reinforcing the possibility of a historical basis for these tales. Were the Amazons exactly as described in myth? We may never know. What is clear, however, is that their stories did not emerge from thin air. They represent a blend of reality, cultural fears, and the Greeks' need to craft adversaries as powerful as themselves. The Amazons were not just skilled warriors. They also lived deeply spiritual lives rooted in their beliefs and customs. In mythology, they were closely associated with Artemis, the goddess of the hunt, nature, and the protector of women. Artemis symbolized freedom and feminine strength, core values of the Amazonian identity. Ancient accounts suggest that the Amazons' rituals revolved around honoring the goddess. They offered sacrifices, often of hunted animals, to seek protection and success in battle. These ceremonies were held in open spaces, near forests or rivers, reflecting their connection to nature and the primal force embodied by Artemis. Another notable tradition was their celebration of female vigor. The Amazons valued physical strength as a form of devotion, believing that prowess in combat and endurance in adversity were manifestations of their divine connection. This spirituality permeated their lives, shaping their training and their perspective on death. To the Amazons, dying in battle was not a tragic end but an honorable sacrifice. Some accounts describe pre-battle rituals where they sought guidance or strength from the gods, particularly Ares, the god of war. While Artemis was central to their culture, Ares also held significance, symbolizing the indomitable spirit that defined their existence. The beliefs of the Amazons reinforced their identity as warriors and shaped their worldview. They fought not only for survival or power but for honor and the spiritual ideals that guided their lives. The Amazons are surrounded by intriguing details that extend beyond myths and battles. One of the most famous characteristics is the origin of the name Amazon. Some theories suggest it means breastless, derived from the Greek amazos. According to legend, they cauterized one breast to better wield a bow, though no historical evidence supports this practice. It is likely a Greek exaggeration meant to emphasize their supposed physical differences. Another fascinating aspect is how the Greeks depicted the Amazons in art. Vase paintings and sculptures often show them wearing short tunics, light armor, and helmets, with resolute expressions. Over time, these representations evolved. Initially shown as fierce enemies, they later appeared as tragic heroines, a reflection of growing admiration for these women. The myths also include elements of mystery. One legend suggests they shared an almost magical bond with horses, making them invincible in battle. While romanticized, this reflects the real-life skills of nomadic groups like the Scythians, who inspired these tales. The supposed isolation of the Amazons is another point of interest. While Greek accounts claim they rejected men in their society, some versions suggest they formed alliances with neighboring tribes for reproduction, raising their daughters as warriors and sending sons back to their fathers. These curiosities continue to fuel fascination with the Amazons. Each detail, no matter how peculiar, adds depth to the mystery and complexity of this unique warrior class. The Amazons have transcended ancient texts to become icons in modern popular culture, influencing literature, film, and video games. Representing strength, independence, and mystery, they continue to captivate imaginations far beyond Greek mythology. In literature, Amazons appear in both classical and contemporary works. A standout example is Wonder Woman, DC Comics' princess of Themyscira. This modern reimagining of the ancient warriors blends mythological elements with contemporary values. Created in the 1940s, Wonder Woman popularized the Amazons as heroines. In cinema, the Amazons have shown in grand productions. The Wonder Woman and Justice League film series showcased visually stunning portrayals of Themyscira's warriors, emphasizing their values and rigorous training. Films like Troy and 300 also reference them, underscoring the enduring admiration these legends inspire. In gaming, the Amazons have left a significant mark. Titles such as Assassin's Creed Odyssey explore Greek mythology and include nods to these warriors. In Age of Mythology, they appear as special units, celebrating their combat prowess. Their cultural impact extends to feminist movements and fashion, where they symbolize strength and autonomy. Their values resonate across art forms, proving their timeless relevance. From mythological origins to modern-day icons, the Amazons represent more than warriors. They embody resilience, freedom, and the fight for a world where strength and courage transcend gender. The Amazons intrigue us because they represent something universal and timeless: the challenge of societal norms and the pursuit of autonomy. Portrayed as enemies, heroines, legends, and even symbols of fear in male-dominated societies, they stand as a powerful idea, a reminder that rules can be broken. In antiquity, the Greeks saw them as the antithesis of the order they sought to impose on the world. Women who lived to fight, ruled themselves, and led armies were revolutionary. This made them not just mythological characters but symbols of freedom and resistance. Today, the Amazons' legacy extends far beyond legends. They continue to inspire stories of strength and independence, influencing films, games, social movements, and how we perceive female power. But do we fully understand them? Were the Amazons merely a cultural invention challenging ancient values, or were they echoes of real peoples who dared to live differently? This blend of myth and reality keeps the Amazons alive in our imagination. They encourage us to question social roles, admire strength, and reconsider what it means to fight for freedom. What else can we learn from them? With their courage and mystery, the Amazons remind us that history belongs not only to those who followed the rules but also to those who dared to defy them. What are your thoughts on these legendary warriors? Share your opinion and join the discussion. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more fascinating stories like this one, and if you'd like to support our project, consider becoming a member. Until our next journey into the lives and cultures of the warriors who shaped history.